Welcome to another episode of the Weeb Retreat podcast. We hope you enjoy your stay. We are the Weebs, your hosts. My name is James. This is Germs. And today we have a lot to talk about. How you doing, Germs?
Doing good. You know, and spicy 4-day Thanksgiving break. So enjoying that, being degenerate as always. You know how it be.
Yep. I had some bomb ass chili tonight. Good home cooked meal. But the people don't care about that. They don't really care about how our day is going. They just want to hear about what we're going to talk about. So let's go over it. We have Demon Slayer, Mugen Train, finally wrapping up. Mushoku Tensei, as always. The people love Mushoku Tensei. My Senpai is annoying. Komi Can't Communicate. And then for a discussion of the week, we're gonna talk about manga. We are an anime podcast. We never talk about manga. So let's talk about manga sales for 2021. The year's almost over. Let's go over it. And then a little bit of news. We're always talking about JOJO every single week. We have a new opening for JOJO Part 6. It's a JOJO opening. We have to talk about it. So that's going to be our show for you guys today. Timestamps will be in the description below. You can use the slider to get to your favorite part. All right, let's waste no time here. Let's get right into the roundup. We have Demon Slayer, Mugen Train arc, episode 7, the final episode of this Mugen Train arc. What did you make of this conclusion, Germs?
Good stuff, man. Just as I remember it, you know. Like I when I saw it was like halfway over, and I was like, oh, I wonder like what happened to all these extra spots and like all the nice little talks, you know, Tanjiro and Rengoku having that nice talk is like, oh,
yep,
beautiful.
Yeah, and
all the boys,
the crow delivering the news to all the Hashira too.
Yeah, like all those nice little moments, you know. Our boy Nosuke, you know, who's like, we don't need to cry. You know, he's got to start training right now.
Exactly. That's our lad there. You know, that's our boy. So yeah, for anime onlys, your mind has been blown. You know what? Surprised me. Not a lot of action this episode. All the action was pretty much the last episode. This was pretty much just the final blow. This episode, you know, this was just the ending to this. This
Sakuga, the last blow, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't talk about it too much because we've seen the movie. I saw the movie twice. Like, it's expected with Ufotable, but we should really be praising it every week, even if it is recycled footage with some cuts here. But it is mainly the same footage. But the animation is gorgeous as always. I mean, you can't even say, like, where's the Sakuga? Like, it's all freaking Sakuga. It's all beautiful. It's all running at a higher frame rate than most anime. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks gorgeous all the time. And I hope that they keep this up with the next arc, the Entertainment District arc, coming out next Sunday. Yes, we will be continuing Demon Slayer on the pod. We're going to get into episode 1 of that second season, or whatever you want to call it, of the Entertainment District arc next week. And I'm hyped. Are you hyped for that?
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be real spicy. You know, well, next week will really show us, you know, is there going to be a huge dip, or is it just going to be going right from the get-go, you know? So
I think Ufotable's animation is good. It'll stay really good, but will it keep up? Will the weekly schedule, and they've had a long time to work on it, but will the weekly grind keep up with the movie quality production? I don't know, but I'm excited to see. I'm more excited to see the story. And one question I have for you, I mean, we don't have much to say. We've already seen this, right? But one question I have for you, did it hit, it's not going to hit as hard, but did it still hit hard seeing Rengoku's death on screen again?
Oh, yeah. Like, you know, especially he was like, you know, tell my brother, you know, tell my dad, all. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
And then especially what hit me that most was, you know, when his mom popped up and he went, you know,
yes.
It's like, oh, that hit just as hard as it hit, you know?
Yeah, that moment always gets me. Like you mentioned the brother. He says, you know, if you see my brother, tell him not to give up on his dreams. And we saw in a flashback him, you know, telling his brother not to give up on his dreams. So that was nice. And then, yeah, the mother, you know, he's seeing her. She's his angel of death. She's there to take him to the afterlife. And he asks her, he's like, you know, did I do everything I was supposed to? And she's like, yes, you made me proud. It's just like, what a great last few moments. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just, if that can happen when I'm dead,
that smile especially seals the deal right there.
I want someone to say that when I'm dying. I'll be like, yo, did I do it? Did I do everything I was supposed to? Yes, you made me proud. All right, cool. Take me. Time to take me. So yeah. Yeah, good arc. Solid arc. It's unfortunate we didn't have much to say because we've already seen it, but for all the
It's
anime
good.
onlys, this probably blew their mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. That's the Mugen Train arc. It's time to move on from Mugen Train though. It's time to get onto some new content. So final thoughts for the Mugen Train arc season as a whole, Germs.
It was just just as I remember, I think the movie about extended a little bit, had some extra little scenes of spice. I probably didn't notice. Obviously, we didn't. If we watched side by side, we'd notice some differences. But I think this
Yeah.
is just like a better. It's like like that perfect thing you remembered how it was.
Hmm.
Probably a little bit. Added extra scenes, made it a little bit sharper in some areas, probably or something.
Hmm.
But hey, it was fantastic. And, if you didn't see the movie, hey, this is good stuff. Especially that first episode right there. That one you
Yeah,
have to see.
that's the only like real new piece of content here, right? Because that was not in the movie at all, and all the additional scenes. It's nice to have them, but you don't need them. I mean, they're just such minor changes. It really doesn't matter. One thing I can't stress enough is if you watch the movie or you watch the season, it really makes no difference. It's the same thing. It's really the same thing. It's either just cut up or long form. The only thing though is like that first episode, like you talked about. But yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, what I was thinking about it, like I was thinking, like at some of the sandwich places, like they have like the normal version, they have the deluxe version, and the deluxe version is just like they have to add a little, let's add some lettuce, add a tomato slice,
Yeah.
maybe like a piece of cheese. It's like okay, it's slightly better, technically slightly better than the
But
normal,
it still
but
basically tastes the same. It's the
you taste it,
same
and you're like, okay,
sandwich.
this is what's the difference? But it's like okay, this is probably better. But
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. We agree too much. So, but yeah, Entertainment District arc, we are very hyped for that. All right, let's move on here to favorite, right? Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Season 2, Episode 9. All right, so let me just say this off the top. I was completely wrong about where this mini arc was going to go. I thought that this was going to carry us through the end of the season. No, it didn't at all. So, yeah, let's talk about it, Jerome. Let's talk about it.
yeah, this was slightly different than what I read in the manga. Like for sure, I remember I read through this like these past next arcs here, like because I was so hyped to get to a few weeks ago, and I was like I have to just read it over again. And it's slightly different than it was in the manga. I think the manga had it like the more anime version, like oh this is what I think is happening, which is probably what you thought. It's like
Yeah.
there's gonna be some saving or something. There's gonna be some fighting, slight fighting or something.
Hmm.
But no, this is a lot more just like talking it out with the strong brother that loves those figures, not dolls, figures. I'm
Yes, yeah. Get it right. Get it right. He's gonna haunt you in your sleep. All right. Listen, I praise the show to death, right? But this, I could come up with a criticism. It's kind of reaching, but I could come up with one. I really thought that they were gonna make use of this arc. It seemed dramatic. It seemed like they were gonna pull Roxy into this ordeal. Um,
I
the little
wish.
the little short shits and tensions were like dark and twisted and dirty. Rudius is trapped. You have you have his comrades out there. Maybe they could get sucked into this, and instead, we kind of just get this otaku who just kind of by chance, by so convenient that he has a figure that he made, and he's like, oh, they link up. He's like, yeah, I'll get you out of here. I'll do anything you want. He calls him master. It's like, okay, I was expecting like a mini war here, but this is cool too. I like the character. His name is Zanoba.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was funny. I thought he was a fun, and he just like picked up little brother. Almost snapped his neck. It's just like, oh my god, dude. That was nice to see. I was satisfied seeing that because I hate that little bastard. But I felt that they could have made something here. I felt like they could have brung Roxy in. I felt like they could have they could have done some stuff here. Maybe Eris or Ruijerd could have been captured too, or maybe they could have, because they kind of went to rescue him, but they didn't really need to. The otaku was going to get him out, so I don't know. It seems like a little bit of a missed opportunity, but it's still a solid episode. Still solid. I'm not saying it's a bad episode. My mind had it going somewhere else as the anime only. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I was really surprised how different this was. The way they went out compared to the manga, because like in the manga, it's like Rudy and Rudy and Eris like just like go ham like and like storm the castle and like that kind of stuff. And then like Eris accidentally calls out for Rudy, and then the little sister figures out, and it's like, oh, it's some spice there. But it's like I remember the manga is she like the sister like heard Eris calling him Rudy, and she's like, wait a second.
Oh,
wait a second.
Interesting.
Like, oh,
so
because like as we saw in the anime, like she kind of just like
she just knew.
Oh, like
she just knew.
Yeah.
Aisha just kind of knew, which is I thought was a cute moment. Again, it's not necessarily that this content is bad. I just thought that they could have done more interesting stuff with it. But yeah, if that happened in the manga, I would say that that's probably a more interesting version. Like
that's what I thought as well. That's why
again, they had so many things to play with here. They had Rudy's secret identity. They had he had his Roxy and Roxy that they could pull into the story. You still had Eris and Ruijerd out there. Maybe they could have come to save Rudius. I feel like they just could have done some more interesting things. The otaku guy could have maybe slowly turned on the little bastard, Pax. I don't know. I just thought that it was good. I thought it was gonna go somewhere else. Not a bad episode. What we got was still funny. I thought otaku was funny. Fawning.
Oh, like
especially
the mole.
Especially like the CG model. Remember like the mole? Yeah, exactly. Like it was good. It was good for what it was. I just felt like they could have done some more interesting things with it, and but still solid. And I think the ending of the episode was nice too. With Lilia and hugging Rudy and kind of reminiscing. When Aisha asked if she could join their little squad, I thought he was, because typically in anime they don't really put that kind of stuff unless it like comes to fruition. But he's just like, no. Well, he doesn't say no, but he's just kind of sends them off on their way, so which makes sense. She's like 5,
Yeah, it was different than I was expecting, but like there's still so many funny moments with the otaku guy, and there's so many fun like when he's like, oh, the mole's supposed to be, he's like, oh my, I defiled. No! Like it's just some dumb fun,
Yep. Yep. And Rudy gets his box back with Sylphie's panties and the
Roxy's panty.
Oh, Roxy's panties.
The goddess.
Sorry.
How did you forget?
No. How could I forget? But he did have Sylphie's
little charm, something
charm for his 10th birthday. Yeah, so he's got 2 pieces of his different waifus in his box now. So that's cool to see. We keep mentioning Sylphie in here, and again, I barely remember her from the first half of season 1. She was only in it for a little bit, so they were able to tie in Ghislaine's tribe. They were able to tie in Roxy's village, so like it'd be nice to see if we can get some Sylphie coming up. Don't say anything. Don't even give me a look. Don't spoil anything. But it'd be nice because they keep bringing her up. I want to see all the waifus here. But
well, I think it's nice that they do that kind of stuff for so people don't forget just out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's exactly. Just slightly bring up everyone's name, everyone's small. Just be like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Yeah, it's like sometimes like it's like something like in One Piece or something. It's like who doesn't show up for like 500 chapters, and now they're here like. Who were they again? It's like, oh, remember this person from chapter 20? But yeah, he's back. It's like, oh, I don't remember that. But I like how they're doing it here. Is, get the slight little tidbits of a bunch of other characters, Roxy, Sylphie. I don't think who else, Ghislaine. They keep bringing up these names just so it's fresh in our minds, which is nice,
Yeah, and like I said, solid episode, funny episode. Probably, it's got to be one of the funniest yet, right? But just a little slightly disappointed on where they went with it, but and not much of Mushoku Tensei doesn't really do much cliffhangers, so I know that they're on their way still, right? They're making their way through, but where are they going to go now? I mean, we didn't really get a hint or anything. I know that they're putting so much content per episode, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to say I'm excited for next week's episode, but I don't really know where it's going to go. But solid episode, and as always, Mushoku Tensei is like the best show of the season. You got to be watching it, as you all are. So, yeah. Final thoughts for this week's episode, Germs.
Yeah, nice and funny. The what his name is, the strong
Zanova.
guy. Zanova. He's pretty funny. He's a pretty funny guy. I like his character. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what comes up. Comes up real soon.
Yep. Me too. All right, let's move on here to My Senpai is Annoying, episode 8. And before you say anything about this one, I just want to say, Sakurai is the queen. She is the queen. What did you make of this week's episode?
Oh man, just solid, just solid. I feel like this was like a inverse of a lot of the episodes. Instead of the main couple being the majority, we got
You
Sakurai
got that side
and
spice. And honestly, okay, can I just, I'm not going to bury the lead. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I cared way more for their date as opposed to the main couple's date. I mean, this was really a tale of two dates. You know,
like a
Igarashi and
more chill
Senpai,
date.
they were fine. They were fine. But Kazuma and Sakura, that was some real spice there. He's learning to sort of like they first get there and they claim that they're a couple to get like a discount. And then he thinks to himself, "Oh, I got to be the man. I gotta protect her." You know what I mean? And he kind of does there at the end with those two goons trying to steal his girl. It, it's just they actually have like a relationship now. You know what I mean? Whereas Igarashi and Senpai, they kind of they have a thing for each other, but I feel like it's more Igarashi having a thing for Senpai. But these two definitely, the romance is definitely brewing. There's no doubt. There's no doubt, right, bro?
Like an unofficial couple, basically, already.
Basically. And I love it. I love it. Dude, when she first walked up to the date and he thought to himself, "Oh, she's so beautiful." I'm like, dude, she is so beautiful. She is the queen of this show. This is waifu territory. Like this is like all-time waifu territory. She is so freaking cute. And I love her personality. I like that he's kind of like awkward, you know what I mean?
Well, I like like the train scene when like they're all all the other guys are looking at him, like he steps up a little bit so they
I like that too. I like that too. That's what I'm saying. He's like learning to sort of be a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Which is cool. And then let's talk about like the main couple. They kind of they had ramen. They kind of like chilled at an arcade. It feels like their relationship is getting more like informal. Would you say? Like.
Oh.
He kind of comes to her place and she just like cries in front of him. And I'm like, the old Igarashi wouldn't do that, because she was like too prideful. But they're definitely getting like closer to one another. They're just the romantic element isn't there. It seems like
That's what I was thinking. It's like something's going on here, but like it's not really going. It's kind of just like I think once we see more of Senpai's side and seeing Senpai, actually. Be part of because the relationship's a two-way street. Currently
exactly.
Igarashi she's all ready, but Senpai we don't know. It's like does Senpai like is he even thinking about this? Like
have we even
seen him blush? Have we seen him blush?
No, I don't think so.
Like if I would like I started going to James's place, it's like I mean James' relationship now. No, exactly. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Just because you're hanging out at someone's place. You can still be platonic. And even if it's a guy and girl, it can still be platonic. Which is I mean, still a good episode though. Still a good. I would say this is probably one of my more favorites. Also
minor compared to the main.
But yeah, that's the thing. What really sold this episode was Kazuma and Sakurai. Man, I love their date. This is so bad. This is so bad because I almost want to watch them more than I want to watch the main fucking couple. And the show ain't about the main couple, They did. This is a moment where the story has done too good of a job on the side characters. Now you're neglecting the main characters. You know what I mean? Usually stories don't spend enough time on the side characters, but now they're making me love them too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like they really need to focus on Senpai's perspective.
Especially because this is only one core too. I think it's only 11 or 12 episodes.
Yeah, so if by the end of the season we're like, okay, let's get see more Sakurai, and it's like oh, but actually the show's my senpai is annoying.
My senpai, you actually called it, didn't you? Call it last week or the week before? You're like, I want to see more senpai, right? Wasn't that like what you were asking of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't listening, Germs. They weren't listening this week, but still a great episode as always. Final thoughts for this week's episode of My Senpai is Annoying.
Oh yeah, it was still a beautiful episode. There were so many beautiful moments in there, just countless. Every single moment they had together had a little something there. You're like, oh, that warms my heart right there. So they're still doing a fantastic job on that front, but we gotta bring the main couple back up to this level here. Because if we could have both, oh my beautiful,
Oh, that'd be great. That'd
beautiful.
be perfect.
That's what we
That's
had for a
perfect.
while over there, but
That's
now
all
it's
I
kind
want.
of,
That's
but
all
now
I
it's
want.
going
I
too
just
much on the other way.
exactly. And what about this Golden Week shit? Why don't we have this in America where we just have like a week off or some shit like that? Dude, I gotta get in touch with my employer on this one, dude. I don't where's my Golden Week, dude? I want my Golden Week. All right, let's move on here to Komi Can't Communicate, episode 8. What did you make of this week's episode of Komi?
Oh yeah, I think you're just excited as I am for this one. There's so many spicy little moments in there. Mm. Oh.
All right, let's start with the first third of the episode. We have Komi's family.
Oh yeah.
We saw a little bit of Komi's family last week. Now we get a little bit more. It seems like grandma is like the head of the family, which is cool, you know? Like at one point, I think it was her mother's like, you need to go see your grandma. And like her father left and he was like deflated. So he must have had like a serious talk with her. And then Komi goes to talk to her and she's like, are you enjoying school? And then eventually she finds out, she's like, oh, do you like a boy? You know, like typical, like, you know,
Oh no.
grandma stuff, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Goes
And
the
you can,
phone.
talking about going all in, right? Komi's all in. I mean, we have got from episode 1 to episode 8, we have seen a real transition with Komi. I mean, you could tell Tadano gets embarrassed and he blushes, but you can tell like Komi actually like really likes
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Both of them are starting to come to the table here.
Yep. Yeah, and they came to the table during the festival, which is like the bulk of the episode. Yeah, what'd you make of the festival part, dude?
Oh, so good. So many nice, cute little moments. I think easily my favorite moment was when she was writing the thing in the sand. Like she wanted to be have more fun
Alone
moments
with
with
him?
him.
Yep.
Like,
And then,
but then
and
she
then,
quickly.
and then yeah, so
Oh,
good. So
so
good. I
cute, so
love
cute,
that.
so beautiful.
Dude, I her bug eyes when her eyes get so cartoony, I love it, dude. Like I thought to myself, okay, like she has two different faces. She has that face and like the normal looking face, right? I'm like, okay, like the sort of chibi, sort of over the top anime like face that will get annoying after a while. Nah, not at all. Every time she has those big black eyes, I'm like, dude, she looks so cute. You know what I mean? Because she's always like lost or nervous when she has those eyes. You know what I mean? So really, really good. And then yeah, Najimi just brings like fucking 100 people.
A
He's
thousand.
just
No, it
like
was 1,000.
1,000. He or she is just like, yeah, like all my friends of my friends are my friend, you know. So like, look at all the people I brought. I gotta say, Najimi is a good third wheeler in the show. Um, the level of well, I like the fact that, you know, he's got a lot of friends, but then the level of excitement and sort of over the topness. You know,
And the energy.
Komi-san. Yeah,
Yeah,
the energy. The energy. Because you know, Komi and Tadano are a little bit more low key, and then you have Najimi, who sort of makes up for that lack of energy. So I think that Najimi was the perfect choice for, you know, a third wheel in this situation. Would you agree?
Yeah, it gets them both excited to do something, or gives them a reason to do stuff, instead of just sitting home or whatever. Because
Yeah,
if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for them, then wouldn't be going to the beach, or wouldn't be organizing all these little events. I think definitely
exactly.
Najmi is that perfect glue to get this going.
Yeah, I think Najimi was a great choice for, you know, a first friend and a third character to sort of help drag the plot along. And yeah, just before we leave this festival, that Yukata, she looked great in that. She looked great in that. Okay, I just gotta say. All right, then the final third of the episode, they meet up at Tadano's house, and summer vacation ends. Sad to say, we're not in summer vacation here, but you know how it be. What did you make of that you know, ending to their summer vacation? Summer is out now.
Yeah, I think that was a nice little, especially with the obviously the Komi was like, which summer, the first summer ever since first time I
Love
ever
that
wanted summer
moment.
never end. It was like,
Loved it. Loved it. That was the cherry on top for me. That was the cherry on top for me.
yeah, I definitely agree. That was so nice, especially the blushing, and then when she puts it back down, now she's like composed. She's growing. She doesn't talk
Yep.
too much, but the words she writes are just as important.
Yep. And of course you have the cameos with all the fucking crazy wackos that love Comey. You know how it be. It's Comey can't communicate, but yeah, overall solid episode. Probably not the best, a little bit of a slower one, but it did have moments that I really loved. That Comey right or drawing with in the dirt with the stick, beautiful. Love that. Comey writing, this is the first summer I didn't want to end. Beautiful. So lots of worthwhile moments that and man, you could just tell Comey is really falling for Tadano. I mean, if they hadn't made it clear enough in the season already, they're making it pretty damn clear in this episode, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think we're Koma's having a lot more of those little moments there. She was gonna she wrote it, but she at the last second she stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. So solid episode as always. I'm curious to see how this. It's still not confirmed if it's going to be one core or two, but I wonder how the romance will blossom. It'll probably be a slow burn. But hey, for 8 episodes in, and she's already blushing and acting weird around him and thinking about him a lot. It's moving fast paced for what it is. I thought, dude, when this first started, I thought this would be completely platonic. I didn't think that there'd be any. I thought if there would be anything that brews, it'd take a long while. But hey, episode 8, we already have some spice in there. So yeah, any final thoughts for this week's Comey? Wrap up the weekly roundup.
Yeah, it was a nice little episode. The festival. I was expecting one of those like firework moments. Either one of them's looking at the
Yeah.
fireworks and like they like the other one. It's like I was hoping for one of those moments, but I guess that'd be too what's it called? Too much of a trope.
Too
of
on
a
the
festival.
nose. Yeah, too
Yeah.
on the nose. Yeah, that makes sense. But you know what? We still had cute moments in there. We still had good
Yeah.
moments in there. So yeah,
Shows that you don't need just that moment to make a festival a little thing there.
exactly. Yep. All right, so that is going to be the conclusion to our weekly roundup. Comment down below what was your favorite episode of the week. Does not have to be any of the series that we have talked about. It could be any new show premiering this fall 2021 season. And with that, we have to get into our weekly winner. Who is the winner of the week, Germs?
You know, oh, it's a slightly tough one here, but I think my heart has been telling me that ever since I watched all those episodes. I'm like, I know which one was my favorite one, and that's my Senpai is annoying. That was just too good.
Damn it.
It was
Why
too
can't
good.
we ever disagree on this show? I have to go with Senpai 2. The date was it was too good, man. It's too good. Man, I really thought that we might have a disagreement here. I thought maybe you'd go Mushoku Tensei, maybe you'd go Komi, but no. We don't make things interesting here. We always freaking agree. And I assume the reason that we both picked this one as the winner is probably going to be the same reason that date with Sakurai and
It was
Kazuma,
too
right?
good. It was just
Too
too good. There's so many good moments that you can't deny all those. Every scene that they had together there was something like perfect.
And when he went back to go get something, I'm like, this motherfucker better buy the dolphin. He better buy that fucking dolphin. And then what does he do? Like a Chad, he buys the dolphin. Now, if he was like, real man, he would have bought it on the spot, but that's okay. He's learning. He's learning.
No, the surprise. The
surprise is good. The surprise is good. But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know what? I can deal with that. I can deal with that. All right.
And if he didn't do that, then those thugs, he couldn't save her from those thugs. Well, not thugs, but those guys hitting on her. See,
well, if he bought
it, a double win there.
Hey, if he bought it up front, he could have prevented the thugs from even walking up. But hey, we could agree to disagree on that. All right, so let's get into our discussion of the week. Let's talk about some manga. We don't talk about manga all too much on this podcast, but 2021 is coming to a close. December is right around the corner, and it's time for us to get into some manga sales. So click on the first link I sent you. Should be top selling manga in Japan by series. So this is going to be strictly by series.
Mm-hmm.
You got it pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start with 5. Let's just start with, we'll go from 5. My Hero Academia has 7 million, these are estimated sales, 7 million copies. Very solid for My Hero Academia. Attack on Titan, 7.3 million. Solid. Number 3. Big jump. Big, I mean, it's like
triple numbers.
There's tiers here. There's levels to this. We have Tokyo Revengers at 24 million estimated sales. And again, this is by series, so it's collecting all, anything sold of that given series. So one thing that I don't think we've talked about on this podcast enough is how much Revengers is blowing up in Japan, man. Um,
insane.
I think a lot of the Japanese liked the story and they thought, this is me, I'm biased. They probably looked at the anime and said, this might not be the best adaptation. Let's go read this. Let's get the better experience. And so, bam, manga sales have gone up through the roof. But there's no question that the anime helped the manga sales. Was it because it's a good adaptation, a bad adaptation?
We're just getting
We'll
the name
never
out
know.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, just getting the name out there. Whenever a lot of time or a lot of reasons why they make anime is just to boost manga sales. You know that? So, and it certainly worked with Revengers. Ever since that anime popped up, it was one of the biggest anime this year. Look at those damn sales. I mean, 24. Yeah,
In the
24
big boy leagues, literally.
big boy leagues. Big boy leagues. All right, and then number two, again, we're still in the big boy leagues, is the manga that should have been number one. What the hell is going on? I can't believe to say this is number two. I think this is the first year since it blew up that it's not number one. That's Demon Slayer at 29 mil. That's crazy. I mean, that's
Still huge.
expected.
That's not,
Huge. It's a
One Piece is
major
even on here, and
success.
so that's easily anything
Well,
with One Piece is you're already
true.
big boy.
True, we'll get to that. And One Piece sells a lot. The reason that okay, so we're looking at by series. The reason One Piece doesn't make this list is because how do I explain this? Not everyone's clamoring for the series. No, not everyone's clamoring for the series. So One Piece has had steady volumes come out every year, right?
Yeah.
And because the population loves and adores One Piece, it's the biggest manga over there, right? They're already caught up, so they're not buying older volumes. They're just keeping up to date with the new volumes. With Revengers, everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna pick up all the volumes they have out."
Slayers, yeah.
And Demon Slayer. So, like Mugen Train, the Mugen Train arc. We have the Entertainment District arc. People are saying, "Oh, I'm going to read the whole thing," and then bam, they have all those volumes to buy. No one's buying One Piece volumes in bulk because they're already caught up. It's been coming out for years. You're either on the train or off the train. By series is more people getting into a series and purchasing tons of volumes. You know what I mean? But we will look at by individual volume, and yeah, One Piece ranks a lot higher because a lot of the population is buying, individual volumes. This is by series.
Okay.
But the one show that concluded this year, the first season concluded this year, in the winter season was Jujutsu Kaisen, and ever since that, people said, "Oh, okay, time to buy all the volumes. Time to get caught up with the series because Kaizen has 30 mil estimated sales, beating out Demon Slayer. That's great news.
That's what's surprising.
That's great news. You know why that's great news? Because Demon Slayer's done. The manga's over, but Kaizen's still going. So there's a healthy leader now amongst the shonen manga, which is nice to see. You know what I mean? One that's still coming out, not because Demon Slayer's great. You could have all the sales for it in the world, but it's over. That's not going to keep sustaining Jump anymore.
I think Revenge is on its last arc or something, from what I've heard, or something.
Yeah, it's still going. Attack
on Titan's obviously over now.
Yep.
I think Boku no Hero only has like a year left, but that's just my thoughts on it.
And you're not liking it, right? Give the people an update.
Well, I'm not liking
so many
it,
words.
It's always interesting whenever I read a new chapter because me and my boys, we hang, after we're done partying, on Friday or Saturday, we're having that little after party Boku no Hero chat. We're like, okay, boys, we get to think about this latest chapter, and it's like, oh, you don't even want to know what they did this week, or like, what do you think about this new power or whatever? It's always like a fun discussion, but it's. I think that's what's mostly giving the most fun with the series. Like, if I was just reading this week to week, I'm like, come on, this is what you doing here? But I think just being able to talk to it with friends is making this a lot more fun than it would be if I just watched it normally.
It would be otherwise.
Yeah. So the only thing on this top 5 that's healthy and has a long life, obviously we both haven't read the manga for Jujutsu Kaisen. Maybe it doesn't have that long, but
I haven't heard that it's in its final arc. I hear it's still going.
Yeah,
so that's good. We have a new king in the shonen manga that is still active. Not a Demon Slayer, which made a big splash in the waves, but is done. You know what I mean?
Time done.
So done. Yep. Revengers, entering its final arc. So it's good to see. And plus, if the manga's selling well, that will who did Mappa, right? That will incentivize Mappa to keep up that high quality, beautiful animation. I assume when like Chainsaw Man comes out next year, that'll
So
blow
be
through the
in,
roof. I mean,
probably yeah, probably be hitting top 5 as well.
yeah, I don't have the top 10, but I know Spy X Family was on there. So, a lot of series are blowing up. And as soon as they get that anime adaptation, it'll be like Revengers. I mean, Revengers went nuts this year. And the only reason it went nuts this year is because of the anime. So, all right, let's get into by volume. So, click on that second link. So, this is going to be all the individual manga sales. And if you pull up the list here, Germs, if you know, you'll notice something really striking looking at it. Ranked 20 through 10 is Jujutsu Kaisen. Volume 3, 4, 7, 2, 11, 10, 12, 1, 8, 9, 13. That's why Jujutsu Kaisen is the number one series, because again, people are buying more volumes of it as opposed to like a One Piece where they're already caught up. They're just buying the latest volume. You know what I mean? People are going back like you're catching up to Kaisen, right? You helped contribute to this, Germs. You helped contribute. Everyone's going back and buying all the volumes. So at 8 and 9 is One Piece, volume 99 and 100. I'm shitting my pants thinking about that. 7 is Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I believe. Yeah. That I understand why people are buying that. The movie's coming out for that. 6 is back to One Piece. 5 and 4 is 5, 4 and 3 are back to Kaizen, the latest volumes, I assume. 2 is the Demon Slayer like spinoff, and then 1 is the last volume of Demon Slayer. So as you can see, what backs up what I was saying about by series, by volume, if you were to look at what volume sold the most in 2021, it's Demon Slayer's final volume. 23 is the final volume, right? So yeah, Demon Slayer's final volume, that individual volume sold more than any other volume. But
because
which series?
The only other volume is 22, and that's all the way like down 25.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the Demon Slayer only have like three volumes there, and 2 of them aren't even actual normal volume.
Yeah, people have already, like the craze has already happened with Demon Slayer. People already went nuts on it. But the new craze, as you can see, what's the one series that dominates this list? Kaizen. Kaizen absolutely dominates this list. One Piece is high, but again, those are individual volumes. Demon Slayer is high.
Whatever came out this year.
Individual volumes, exactly. The one that everyone wanted to go back and buy and binge was Kaizen. And that is in no small part due to Mappa's beautiful and gorgeous adaptation, So, a little bit of manga trivia, Is this what you expected? I didn't expect Demon Slayer to be top, dude.
Well, I'm not surprised by seeing only a few volumes of Demon Slayer, and that's really what's making those numbers.
Yeah, that makes sense, though, right? I mean, that when you think about it, it makes sense, because Kaizen did end the first season ended this year, and people fucking love that shit. Well, the Japanese love it. I think these are Japanese sales. They might be worldwide, but yeah, good to see, and yeah, we have like Chainsaw Man that's getting an adaptation soon.
That's gonna have a bunch of big binge. Well,
yep, that'll have a huge spike in sales next year. Spy X Family, that's gonna have a big, huge spike in sales next year. So
I'm preemptively already buying it. So yeah, my numbers won't be in there.
You're ahead of the curve,
That's pretty spicy numbers here.
Yeah, just
some knowledge, especially with the One Piece. I didn't really think about that before. So makes a lot of sense. Just all the volumes in this year.
But the individual volumes are still high, It's just that the population's caught up to it, I mean, One Piece is like a religion over there, bro. Like, no one's going back and buying. Yeah, exactly. But no one's going, okay, it's time to start reading One Piece. Let's buy volume 1 through 100. No one's doing that. Everyone's already caught up. They're just buying the latest shit that drops. You know what I mean? Whereas, Kaizen is like, oh, that was a good first season. Time to keep going, And like, notice Zero is high too. That's because Zero's coming out. People want to read that because they want to see what the story's about before the movie comes out, All these weebs that can't wait, So good to check in with the manga scene. We're always worried about the future of Shonen Jump, but hey, we got a new king for right now. We got a new king, Jujutsu Kaisen. All right, and to end off this wonderful episode, we can't can't leave an episode this close to the release of JoJo Part 6 without talking about JoJo Part 6. So, new OP has dropped for Part 6 Stone Ocean. I will let you say anything. I don't want to influence your opinion. What did you honestly make of this new OP?
Oh, I think it beautifully, perfectly like captures what the the vibe and feel of Part 6. It's got like that girl punk rock. The
Yeah.
visuals are whoever the people that did the 3D animation for like the Part 3 openings back and beautiful, going off like the high quality like 3D like moving around and all that, and the models
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy because from 4 and 5 we went back to 2D animation. We're back, and I can't believe I'm saying this when it comes to anime, but yes, we're back to CG. We're back to CG because one thing that I loved about the JoJo openings was that, and I've talked to you about this, I loved how original it was having those CG openings. It
And no
was
one else
just
really has them.
it's just cool. It's just cool. No other anime is really doing that, having like a CG opening than like 2D animation. It typically you don't really see that often. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
never been done, but you don't see that often. And it was really like JoJo style. And then your favorite part 4, had to come along and fuck that all up. And then Part 5 continued it. Still banger OP, still great music, but it just
That
if
JoJo
you have a
styled OP. Yeah.
yeah, if you have a tradition, why you got to break tradition, man? Why you got to break tradition? There's if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's how I feel. And yeah, for Part 6, for the final conclusion to this, whatever you want to call it, timeline, whatever you want to call it, the final conclusion to this major story, before it gets rebooted in 7, right? So they're going back to their roots. They went back to the CG, and I love it. And then let's talk about the colors, dude.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Like you said, that punk rock sort of like in your face, like, you know, crazy vibe going on, Yeah, and all the things like flashing, right? Like the cinematic feel to the OP, right? Like all the, every walking down the hallway and like things flying from the sky. Like it was pretty like well done, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty big. What'd you think of the song? I thought the song, like, it'll grow on me. It'll grow on me, but it was still good for what it was for the first time listening. OP's always like have to take a while to like grow on me for some reason. Like song wise, unless it's like a banger out the gate. This wasn't one for me, but I think it
The
was.
style of it matched with the
Yes,
series.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, JoJo Part 6, man. This Wednesday, the first, is it? Yeah, I believe it's the Wednesday, right? We are getting a batch of the first 12 episodes of Part 6. So we don't have an announcement to make on that yet. I have a busy work week coming up, but I don't know how we're going to touch on it. If we're going to review them all at once, I don't really know if there's a point reviewing them weekly. I don't know what we're going to do. We still got to talk about it. But you bet your ass we'll talk about it. It is JoJo. We do promise that we will give you guys a review, however it's going to be, of all 12 or individual ones. But yeah, look out for that on Netflix. Thank you, Netflix, for this drop of 12 out of random, out of nowhere. And then I assume we're going to get another 12 down the line and another 12 down the line. So yeah, really, really, really weird. So that's going to be it. That is going to conclude our episode. So, all right, Weebs, if you enjoyed your stay, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not, we would genuinely, genuinely appreciate that. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, give us a follow on there. Yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap up this week's episode, Germs?
Yeah, this Wednesday is going to be a spicy one. I'm trying to fit all that I want now, but we'll see.
Yeah, I got a busy work week coming up, but we'll see what we can do. No promises. We'll see what we can do. At some point, we're definitely going to talk about JoJo Part 6 for sure. And then, next week we also have the new Demon Slayer season. So busy, busy, busy stuff ahead. Also, we got to just tell the people we have 2 specials coming out in December around the holiday season. Be on the lookout for those. We're not ready to announce what they are just yet. We'll probably say next week's episode. We'll go into specifics on them, but let's just say they are going to be specials for a reason, higher quality and better content than usual. So, yeah, guys, take care, and we will see you weebs next week. Peace.